Hello, and we are going to be getting on with some painting today. So, let's have a looky and see. We're going to be try and get as close as possible to actually finishing this model. I think I've still got a bit of a cleanup to do on this around here with all the white, and maybe even shade some of this white, try and make it look a little bit better. I think that might be worth doing. So yeah, we'll give that a go. Let me just refresh my screen here. Make sure I'm doing okay. Yeah, we're doing okay. Good. All right then. So, got to get on with this little old character here. Keep my chat in view as well. There we go. So, there's a bit of glazing work that we've kind of got to get on with. Try and make some of these areas smoother. And maybe, yeah, I'll try to see if I get a little bit of shading into this white stripe that we've got on here. Actually, there's a bit I've missed, so I really shouldn't use this. It's been on my wet palette for too long. I just want to, yeah, it's not great, to be honest. Yeah, I'm being lazy trying to use paint that's been on my palette for too long, and it's either gotten too wet or too dry. Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? I'm going to do one last shot because I'm lazy, a mixture of lazy and stubborn. So there we go. No, it seems to have worked. Just to do what I need it to do, which is just mark it in so that we can then go over with the white later. All right. It's mostly kind of around this area here that I want to just be careful of. There we go. Hello Linda. Thank you. Always good to see you. Join the chat there. Thank you for coming along. I haven't been able to do much in the way of painting. Life has just been busy. Been editing a little bit for my YouTube video. But that's kind of coming along slowly as well. But really got to get this girl done. Once she's done, I can kind of move on to some new projects and things. I feel like because I'm doing this one for a competition, I'll never feel like it's done. So I'll refuse to kind of finish her. Is the danger I'm in. I've got a bit of red in there, so it's gone a bit pink. going to get a touch of grey, I think, and mix this with some of the white that we've got there, just so we can kind of give a bit of a shade to this white that we've got on the line on the back. Now I might be just mucking this up, but I'm just going to give it a go anyway. Just some of those recesses there. So I don't think you're going to really notice it very much. And I think I'm just going to muck up what I've done already. It gives a very slight impression. That's all I'm really after right now, is a slight impression. Not trying to go overboard with anything. Just keep it simple. Okay, we're going to go a touch more grey. Just give that a go. Again, not confident in this. I wonder if I just go with a very, very thin black and just kind of line some of these areas so they just stand out a bit more, rather than trying to do this finicky graying. So I don't think it's really creating the effect I'm looking for, to be honest. If anything with it, I'm just missing and mucking up my red. Oh, you're not confident. I'm kind of hitting that thing of like, I'm hitting my level and trying to do stuff that's maybe incorrect. Indeed. Okay. guess we're going to clean up a little bit of our armor here. Just want to thin this down to almost like a glaze, just so we can just help cover up some areas there. I'm up top with the red. Don't know if you can see it, but I've got these little marks of red on her green armor that I've got to clean up, where I made some errors when I was lining the cloak. There's also some bits that I've missed completely with the green. And I still wanna try and highlight around these areas a little bit more. Let's get a bit of you. Is it the yellow green or the, should I go with the golden olive? Can't remember. Oh well. I'll go with you. Thank you very much. It's a fun model to paint, this one. It really is. It's been a pleasure to do. I have her sitting next to a bunch of other models that I've painted, and she just stands out because of the contrast that I put into her, and the fact that she's kind of been pushed up because of the size of her base. But I'm enjoying painting her. I'm in that mode of feeling I'm hitting my ceiling, but at the same time not wanting to give up on trying to improve it more. But now worried that any decisions I might make might screw up what I've done. So right now I kind of want to thin down my paints a lot, really a lot, so they're like glazes right now, so that it hopefully just helps with blends. That's maybe a bit too much there. I'm worried I'm going a bit too high with some of this, so we're gonna, you know what, I'm actually gonna use my glaze medium. Let's bust out the glaze medium and have a play around with this. Try and get all of these areas just right with the green. So using the actual yellow green, we're going to mix that into there, make it very glazy. There we go. And this will hopefully help us with the mid-tones. Oh, thank you very much, Frostfuggle, for following. Welcome. Always nice to have a new follower. So thank you very much for that. Don't be afraid to... Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. I'm glad you really like it. I'm really trying hard to make this model be make it as good as I can. I'm entering an online competition with this one, and I'm hoping to at least do well. So I'm trying to push contrast is kind of my main mission. Just get everything to have a lot of, make it kind of everything kind of stand out really strong, and having complementary colors throughout is a big target for this one. Try and draw your eyes up to the face and not worry too much about anything crazily technical, and just try and make it look good is the aim here. But thank you very much for the follow. Are you working on anything at the moment? I think I'm stroking the paint in the wrong direction. There we go, that's better. So I'm trying to get these mid-tones to highlights blended a little bit more smoothly. I'm going to have to go back over that one and get a few of the darker greens into there as well. If we can get some of this looking smooth, then I would have done the job I'm looking for with this. I'm worried that I just did a bit too much on these shoulder pads. I have to tone them down a little bit. But yeah. In focus. Hopefully the model's in focus. Let me know if it looks a little bit off. It's hard to tell from my OBS. Okay. Right, we're gonna take a little bit of the green here, mixed in with a little bit of this to get a little bit of a lighter tone there, and we're going to take some of the glaze medium, we're going to mix that right in so we get a nice glaze going. So it's very thin, and then we're going to Just bring this down there. Hopefully glaze that into there. Give that a little bit more. Oh, it's working. I think it's working. It's just smoothing those transitions by being like a filter across the paint that I've already put on there, and hopefully just muddies a lot of the brush strokes that you would normally see. It's kind of the main aim we've got with these glazes. Okay, I'm getting pretty happy with the green right now. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with the green. I'm going to leave that green to dry. Hopefully, once it's dried, I'll see less of the brush strokes, and then that will make me happy to be like, yep, that's done. Now, do I dare do this? I'm going to try and get this very thin black. Just line the indents in the white. Now if it just doesn't look good, I can just redo them to an extent. Yeah, I don't think I like it, but but experimenting is how you kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. If it doesn't work, just go over it again. Just want to define some of these areas that I've painted white a little bit more. I'll have a look at it in a minute, see if I like it or not. Now I can always fix it. Thank you very much, Frostvogel. Yeah, I mean, I was into Warhammer first when I was, like 10, 11 years old. And then you kind of hit 15, 16. And you kind of avoid it because it's not cool. And then once you actually kind of settle down again, I think a lot of people kind of come back into the hobby kind of around 30. Everyone's like, yeah, you know what? Being 10 was great. So I'm going to be 10 again. And you just kind of like ease back into the hobby quite nicely. At that time, I was awful at painting and I loved playing all the Warhammer stuff. I love Necromunda and playing a lot of games. And then I must have been about 30, I guess, when I started back in again. And it must have been 30. Started back in again. I got some Warhammer and I didn't really do a good job of painting, and I just kind of painted to get on with playing. So I remember playing was the big thing. But here in Japan, it's kind of hard to play very often, and I started to get into the painting more and more. And so I'm just trying to improve my painting as much as I can. It's a slow process, but This is far better than what my painting used to be. Don't know if I've got any of my old models lying around now. Not like really old models that I painted, but yeah, it's kind of fun. I kind of work on a technique at a time to try and get better at painting. Right now, these last few months have been all about just painting with high contrast, and kind of making my models pop more. And it's been lots of fun, kind of learning this process. It's kind of cool. I'm at that point where I feel like I've kind of reaching that limit that I have now. I do need to fix her face. This is something that I've been a bit scared about doing, but let's throw down the colors for my skin tone, and we will attempt to fix this face. So I'm gonna need I need a bit of Bugman's. You're over there. I think I'm gonna just kind of glaze this stuff. Oh my god, this stuff gets stuck on there. Oh crikey! There we go. Whee. So we've got a bit of Bugman's, and then we got the lighter skin tones, which is Cadian and Kislev for sure. I believe I actually went up to a really pale color as well, but for the time being we're just fixing an error, so we'll just play around with these a little bit. I'll probably glaze them just so I'm not putting it on too thick and screwing up my work that I've already done. Oh, there we go. And yeah, I'm just gonna pop you up there. There we go. We just need a little bit, not very much. And yeah, so what I've done here is I've slipped with the blue and it's come across her face here. So we're gonna just, first of all, I'm gonna take a little bit of Bugman's and take a glaze to it, so it's very thinned down, so hopefully it doesn't ruin what I've done here. Hopefully we can kind of just slowly remove this blue that's kind of been stroked across her face. I can even just hopefully add a little bit of more depth to the face as well. It's our chance to try and make the face look as good as possible, whilst hoping not to screw it up. Now the question is as well, do I put like lipstick and stuff on there? I have no idea if I really want to do that. I kind of like how she looks at the moment. She looks pretty good. Let's go and get a bit of Cadian, and we'll get again a bit of the glaze in there. Thin that right down. And we're just gonna highlight that up a little bit there. Can even do a little bit on here, especially on the high cheekbone there. Oh, I want to be careful of the eye though. And because we're glazing, it's fairly translucent, so it shouldn't kind of ruin anything that we're doing, but if anything, hopefully what it will do is help tie in a lot of the brush strokes that I've got that are a bit rougher. We'll just hopefully get it looking as good as possible. I don't know, I might be screwing it up a bit, but we'll see, we'll see. So then we've got our Kislev, which is the lightest colour. And again, I'm really liking how the glaze just knocks out a lot of that intensity so that it's very translucent and it just blends everything together. And again, it's just acting like a little filter. So that you can have gradual kind of layers of intensity without seeing the brush strokes. Just a little bit on the chin. The light is catching. Oh, I'm not sure I've done that very well. Something's gone a bit funny on there, I think, but she's coming along a little bit. She's coming along. There is a bit of her eye that I'm really not happy with, and I'm tempted to go in and have a go at fixing it. Well, I think all I need to do is I don't have to kind of redot the eyes or anything. I just need to put a little bit of white, just a touch of it, on her right eye. And if I can just pop in that little bit of white in there, it'll just separate off the eye a little bit so she looks a little bit less cross-eyed. I believe that's all I need to do. Hard to say. Right, I'm going to just take a touch of Cadian, because I noticed a bit of blue on her neck that shouldn't be there. There we go. That bit's done. Okay. Pretty happy with that. Okay, let's just try with this white. It's basically this one, but again, let's just a touch of that to thin it down. Just hopefully so we can just dot it in the right place. I'm not sure if that's making it better or worse. I think I need a bit closer to white. Okay. Don't know if I've actually made any kind of a difference. God, it's hard to see. I have to pull out the goggles. Oh, really? Thank you very much. It is very tense. Sorry I haven't got like a better shot of the close-up of the eye so you can actually kind of see what I'm doing, because I'm afraid I just don't have a camera that's good enough for doing that without it getting in the way of my face, or my face getting in the way of the shot. This seems to be the best angle for me. I have the camera fairly far away and kind of just on a telephoto lens on my iPhone. Okay, I'm wondering if I just do this eye again. Oh god, that's going to be scary though. Right, screw it. Let's give it a go. Okay, so I've whited her eye. And the important thing about when doing the eyes is you first of all I would paint it black. So you've got the socket black. And then within the socket, I do the white of the eye. And the white of the eye, I don't do pure white. I usually mix in a little bit of a grey into there and kind of muddy that up just a tiny bit. So, because usually, you know, the whites of your eyes are not pure white. And if you have a pure white, it looks a little bit odd, a little bit too standing out. So we do that. Now we're going to be hitting it with a bit of black. I don't know if I have any black on my palette that is any good actually. No, this is all dried. So I don't really want to use this. I want to use a fresh black for this job. Because otherwise it's not going to, the paint's not going to do what I want it to do. So let's just pop down a touch of black there. Okay, and again, we want it a little bit thin, but not too thin, because we want to be able to control it. We want it to be able to be seen. Not quite going on as I want because eyes. Okay. I think we've got a better position for the eye this time. It's going to need a little bit of a clean up, but I think we've got a better position of it. So yeah, it's, yeah. Eyes are a real difficult thing to paint, and you can actually kind of go on YouTube and see people do these wonderful, beautiful jobs of eyes, but when you actually listen to them talk and explain their own problems, it's like even professionals, like really, really good painters, say that they have to do the eyes 3, 4, 5 times before they get it right. So usually you start with the eyes. That's what I usually do. I start with the eyes, get the eyes right first, and then I paint the rest of the model, because then I know that that bit is done and I'm not going to have to be scared about doing it over a nice paint job. This particular one I was like pretty happy with, but then as I look at it more and more and more, I was like, she's kind of cross-eyed. So I've had to go against my own kind of advice on that and try and paint that in. Now, she also has a slight blue to her eyes as well. So we're going to be mixing in just a teeny bit of this turquoise into the black to kind of give her some kind of grey blue eyes. To be honest, a little bit more of that. I don't know. I think I might just keep it close to black and try and do the eye on the other side just a pure black at the moment, because it's just needs a little bit of strength. If I can get her look to be a bit more intense, then I think her face will look a little bit stronger, and that'll be alright. So before, what I'd done is I had put in the black for the eye, and then the inside of that I did a kind of a grey blue, to kind of give a grey blue iris, but I don't think it really sold the effect. This is looking a little bit better. It's still not perfect, but if I keep chasing perfection, I'll never finish this model, to be honest. I gotta know when to just go, yeah, that's it, that's done. Right, I am gonna try and do a little bit of a glaze, quite a thick glaze of ice yellow. I'm gonna have a play around with the blade. See if we can't get this looking a little smoother. So the glaze is acting like as I said before, a filter. So we're throwing this filter on basically to help us hide brush strokes. Create smoother transitions. Again, it would just make the paint job look better than it actually is. I think that's how I describe my use of glazes. Try and hide my faults. But yes. Oh, I'm gonna have to call you done sometime, haven't I? Just wondering if I do anything more with the face. A touch of red into the Bugmans for the lipstick, maybe. For the lips, just give them a little bit of colour. Just a very... It's maybe too much, but we'll give it a go. You know what, I think that actually kind of worked. Just gives her lips a bit of a fuller look to them. So hard to tell if looking through the goggles. I think looking through the goggles is better because I can actually see more errors and mistakes that I've made, and I can actually have a go at fixing them. I have to get the white out So off-white. And we'll just fix up a little bit of the white areas that I've got. I actually screwed up a little bit earlier. Usually I can just complain about me not deleting this stupid music from my collection, but I'm just going to embrace the silly music and run with it. We're just gonna add that there. Thank you. Whoops. Sometimes when I'm wearing the goggles, I don't really see where the brush is going, and I go and put the brush over an area of the model that I don't want to put the brush over. Okay. You know what? I think that's okay. I might just try and blend in some of this because it just kind of stands out a bit too much over everything there. Also mix in a little bit of the white again into the grey that I've got up here. Just grab some grey. Then we're going to use that to just highlight some of these rocks. Just on the top surfaces. And help blend this kind of object that she's standing on into the model itself a bit more. Just kind of tone it down a little bit so it doesn't stand out so much. Again, just kind of a quick brush over. Basically a dry brush, and it's just a small amount, but I think it's helped blend it in a little bit more. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna do a... Hopefully I've got a little bit of that brown left. And I'm just gonna get a touch of the glaze in there. Revitalizes it a bit. Just gonna filter that bit down there. Probably did a bit too much there. Yeah, I keep going back and forth on this blade and screwing it up more. Can't quite decide where to stop on that blade. Right, let's see. Well, this color, which is kind of a good mid-tone for it. Oh, woo, too much. find a space for it all. There we go. That'll be very thin, and that's kind of really what we want right now, is just a very thin glaze. Just gotta watch where it pulls. There we go. A few midtones in there. It makes it a little bit brighter, but again, I don't know if I'm actually making it better. From a distance, it looks great. When I get close, it looks awful. I gotta stop playing around with that thing. I think it's basically it's done as done. You know what? I'm tempted to say that I'm done with this model and just be like, okay, she's basically where she's gonna be right now. I forgot I had black actually on my palette here. So we get a nice strong black around the edge. And yeah, next thing we'll have to be is to take some decent photos of it, and then I'll probably decide then, like, oh, I've really got to fix this area or this bit there. That's going to be the big choice, is how I will do that. Is when I see the photos and go, okay, this bit is not good enough, that bit is good enough, or whatever. I'll make the decisions then. Right now, I'm going to put it to the side and leave it. I've got a bunch of bases that I got to get finished for my JSA, Japanese Secessionist Army. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on them. Oop, there we go. I just got to replace you. I guess I knocked the camera a little bit. These bits are a little bit easier, so it's just basically these things, which will then have like a bike on there, riding on the top. My JSA have this grilled pattern here, so all I need left for this one is to do the grey part of it. So to do the grey part of it, I'm going to need a fresh batch of cold grey. Thank you very much. I don't know if it's done. I'm just not confident to do any more to it right now, or I'm just not seeing the thing that I really need to work on the model. But I'll take some good photos of it and see how I feel. I still got, I got basically the end of this month to actually finish the model for the competition. And again, my aim is to try and get top 5. I don't know if I can do it. I've seen some of the entries, the work in progress entries, and they look really good. But I'm doing the intermediate category, and seeing if I can get a decent run on that. That would be nice. So this is just kind of a little bit of kind of tedium work, I guess. But once this is on, then what I can start doing is actually sticking some of my models on that are finished, which will be nice. I can then call those ones done as well. we can get a lot of hobby done. So all I'm doing is I'm kind of keeping it at one angle. I'm just kind of highlighting from one side, so it looks okay. Beginning to end. Oh, I'm very happy that it's a nice relaxing watch. That's good. I need to work on my kind of Bob Ross phrases, perhaps. Really make it that much more relaxing. Yeah, I've actually kind of slowed down a lot on my YouTube video production at the moment. I do want to get back into doing a bit more again, but I did kind of burn myself out a little bit trying to get a lot out. And right now I'm still kind of working on the big project, which I did put a preview out on my channel of my playthrough of Infinity Defiance. So hopefully I'll get that video done. Then it's kind of back into painting a bit and writing a short story. I've got to finish off my trilogy. What was it? My Orpheus, the Fall of the Orpheus trilogy. I'm doing it from the third and final perspective of the aliens, which is going to be fun to write. It's just I know it's going to be a challenge to write as well, but it's a fun challenge. I mean, my stories are pretty crappy, but it's kind of a cathartic part of my hobby is writing kind of short fiction and things. But it's certainly actually one of my Patreon's favorite parts of my channel, so I don't want it to be left unanswered or undone. I don't know, I'm not sure the words I'm looking for. Yes. Believe me, I'm weird in my own ways. I've got my own weirdness running through me. But I do want to I've got all these minis that I don't really want anymore, like my old Necromunda stuff. I've got like a whole bunch of minis from the 90s that I would like to paint, because I never painted them, or when I did paint some of them they weren't painted very well. So I would like to have a go at painting them and then just sell them on eBay, see how much I can sell them for, kind of make a video out of it. But I want to kind of have fun with the video, so I was thinking of doing it where the actual models themselves are smack talking one another. It's a very odd idea that's running through my head. But again, it's more so an excuse for me to practice editing and writing, more so than anything else. And doing something a little bit different to what I've normally done before. I kind of like to keep trying to challenge myself with something new, so that I can hopefully build up better skills at painting, better skills at editing, animating and things. I'm also want to take some time to learn a bit of Blender, so that I can create 3-dimensional battlescapes for battle reports of Infinity. I think that would be kind of fun. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll have to I just got to sit down and do it. That's the thing. It's just life, and my commitment to this other video that I'm making is preventing me from kind of really making anything else. First of all, I got to paint up my Charontid alien and write the short story that will go with him. And then I think for my short stories, I'm just going to be doing these little one-offs every so often. I've got a few ideas that I'd like to have a go at making. Quite enjoy doing those. I enjoy the writing. I kind of piss myself off by adding subtitles to the videos as I do the audio reading, because the subtitles take the longest. I'm not sure if they're really necessary, but I'm thorough like that. Thank you very much. There we go. I'm very happy with the internet connection today. It seems like my thing's been going okay without hiccups. Touch wood, I'm still going without hiccups. And yeah, it's been very pleasant. I've been really happy to see that there's another channel that I really like on YouTube for Infinity at the moment, and for Malifaux as well, from the Dice Gods. I've been every so often he's very the guy who runs that channel is very nice, and sometimes joins the stream and has a chat and things. But he's doing really, really well for himself. He's getting lots and lots of subscribers and a lot of views for his videos. So I'm really, really pleased for him and how he's doing with his channel. So if you like Infinity, the game, or Malifaux, his channel's definitely worth checking out. He's got really nice his narration as well is improving a lot every time he does the videos, which is really, really good. But really nice guy as well. Just absolutely super. Little plug there for him. That's the Dice Gods. But yeah. All right. So that's kind of where this base kind of is going to look like. Probably just do a pass with a little bit of white mixed in with some of that grey. Where did I put the grey? It's over here. And then this is the kind of the final highlight, just to give it a little bit more, just let it just jump out a little bit. Don't need much of it, just here and there. Just give it that extra bit of contrast. Don't have to do much. Do too much and you lose the contrast effect, which is usually my mistake. I kind of get overexcited and do too much. There you go. Hopefully some of these errors in the what is it, like stamping of these I can fix with just the bike being covering it all. The bike being covering it all. My English is getting bad. Oh my god, my English is getting worse. Oh my god, I can't even grammar right. Been in Japan too long. Okay, that's basically, yeah, that's basically what that's gonna look like. And then eventually, when I painted up this bike, he's gonna just kind of sit on there and be flying along. Should be cool. When I eventually paint him, he's gonna be kind of fun. But in the meantime, I do have a whole bunch of these bases to be doing as well. I do need a drink though. Chin chin. Right, so I should have, so I think this red here is the corn red that I had, but it's kind of dried, so I don't think it's going to be very good for doing this. It seems to be going on okay. And so all I'm doing is I'm just lining these spaces between the grates at the moment. With the red. And then once that red is done, oh, how long have I been living in Japan? 15 years, I think now. Seems shocking when I think about it that way, doesn't it? It's just normal for me living here now. Yeah, about 15 years. Because yeah, I met my wife about 10 years ago. Now it's maybe 13 years. Yeah, about that. It's pretty crazy when I think about it. I guess it's 12 years, 13 years. Basically, as soon as Japan, yeah, I know. Pretty much when the conservative government took over in England, I've pretty much been away from England. Because they are a bunch of arse hats. But yeah, it's been a while here now. I mean, my current job, I think this is my 7th year. Yeah, I think it is the 7th year in this job. It's been pretty nuts. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to think about it. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, she is lovely. I think she's in the other room right now, perhaps watching some TV or playing something on her phone. She's had a bit of a long day with work. To be honest, I've had a bit of a long day at work as well. Right now we're doing I work at an international preschool, and we're currently doing winter shows, which are like full-on plays. And so one of my jobs is basically to go around to each of the classes and see how they're doing and help them with the practice. And it's pretty hard. So I've got like 19 different plays running through my head that I've got to remember. Got to remember like how the scenes are all broken down and things, so I can actually step into a class and just go, okay, I see what you're trying to do with this scene. This is where this leads, and this is going to be leading here, right? And this here. So I have to have kind of an intimate knowledge of everyone's shows to kind of give the best advice possible, and then I can't be too confident on the advice I give, to be honest. So that's kind of a busy time for us. And yeah, right now is kind of like the hardest time for it because it's still early, but the show is coming up and we're going to be hitting our second rehearsals soon. So everyone's kind of feeling a bit more of the pressure of the show. But we'll get through it. We do every year. It's kind of fun. As you can see, like the red's coming through quite nicely now on this base. We're gonna throw in a little bit of orange in there as well in a mo. There we go. So let's go ahead and get some orange in the mix. Oh, this orange is separated and gone all watery. It's maybe a bit too much. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit too watery for me to use. I mean, it'll act like a glaze, but I don't really want it to act like a glaze right now. Orange is already not got the best, has not got the best opacity when it comes to painting onto a surface. It's pretty translucent, to be honest. So you need like lots of passes for it to actually kind of get on there. So I've got to throw on some new orange. So we're going to use this orange red. Just find a space on here to actually use it. There we go. There we go. There we go. We don't quite cover, we don't do like a full coverage with this orange. We just kind of follow the lines roughly, and then that allows a lot of the red to still be showing through and give you a bit of a gradient. Then we get our, what's it? Light orange. There we go. And then that's the last highlight. This one is like super, I don't mean super as in good. I mean, it's very, very hard to kind of build up a layer of it. It's not the best of paints. The color, once you actually get it on, it looks really nice, but it's not a nice paint to use. I just don't enjoy trying to apply it. It doesn't quite have the properties that I really look for in a paint. I don't feel like I'm in complete control of it. Is kind of, I think, the issue. But there we go. Yeah, I think that's the key. There's a really good book that I try to come back and read a few times every so often, just to kind of get myself back on track with creating positive habits and good habits. And that's the book's called Atomic Habits, and it's all just about making sure that if you want to create a good habit, you need to make sure that your repetitions are high. Because even if you do something every day for only 2 minutes, it becomes habitual for you, and so you don't have to think about it, you just do it. Whereas a lot of the mistakes that we kind of make is when we start a hobby or we start learning something, we go full in on it over a short period of time, but then we kind of get lazy because we're like, oh, I don't want to spend half an hour doing that thing today, and then that bleeds into the next day and the next day and the next day, and then suddenly you have a habit of not doing that thing. So I try to like follow that book to help me with building up positive habits in terms of my painting and video making and my work as well. All of those things kind of get tied into trying to create these good habits. So I do recommend that book if you ever want to check it out. It's got some very practical ways of applying techniques to create better habits and things. It's very good. I really need a new lot of my corn red to go down. There we go. Ah, that's it. I keep knocking the wire there, and that's why you're about to fall into my paint. Ooh. Yeah, I'm trying to apply it to a number of different things in my life at the moment, and I've just kind of gone back to the book again and gone through it once again. I actually have the audio book of it, so I just kind of every so often listen to all the advice and go, okay, yes, this is the thing that I want to apply. And yeah, it's very, very kind of easy to understand, easy to apply the techniques that it talks about, and you can kind of see it improve. And so it's basically just trying to anything you're kind of also doing, you're basically improving aspects of it by 1% all the time. And the idea is over time, the accrued gains from improving something by 1% all the time is massive. So if you keep doing it, you don't see a change day by day, but eventually you'll see massive changes in the future. It's a bit like think about it in terms of bad habits. Having that little snack in the day, you're not going to see any change in the short term. It's not going to really affect your weight in the short term, or you're not going to feel any health issues in the short term. But it becomes a habit every day, and it's those issues start accruing into something very noticeable eventually, and you'll see that it's kind of snowballed into something much bigger, much worse. But you can apply the same kind of thing to positive habits as well, and so it's kind of like shows you how to break down bad habits and make them undesirable, and how to make good habits better. So I'm really bad at snacking. So at work and things, you have a kind of a hard day and you're like, yeah, I'll just get a little snack for today, and that turns into a thing every day. And so I end up spending about 200 yen, it's like $2 a day, on just getting a few snacks. So I'm trying to avoid doing that. But because I always spend that $2 every day on some snacks, now what I've done is to make it desirable and easy for me to not snack every day. basically I give myself an immediate reward for me to feel good about not snacking. So every day that I don't buy any snacks, I get to keep that 200 yen to put towards something I want. So it could be like paint supplies and things like that. And so that kind of gives me an immediate reward that I'm excited and happy about getting for doing something that's actually in the long run as well going to make me healthier. So that creates a positive and good habit. I'm going to spend that. I would have probably spent that 200 yen anyway on getting snacks for myself. So just not spending that money and putting that money towards something that is more important to me is a good way of making those immediate benefits seen. I go on proper tangents when I'm painting. Oy, 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 oy. Yeah. What time on? Okay, I'm nearly at 11 o'clock. I'm going to try and knock out maybe a couple more of these bases. I may have to call it a night. I've got another busy one tomorrow. But then we got a long weekend here in Japan. 3-day weekend. Yay! We've had a few of these recently. So it's felt pretty chill for that. Thank you. Yeah. It's a good book. I really recommend it. It's got so many techniques that you can approach different things with. And yeah, it's just about making good habits easier for you to do and bad habits harder for you to do, and so you naturally just go towards the things which are easier. It's quite a simple, kind of makes a lot of sense when you're reading it, but you often don't connect those things until it's pointed out, or you're able to actually given the tools to self-analyze your own bad habits and what you really want out of your time and things. I still got plenty of bad habits. I watch too much YouTube. Right now I'm kind of hooked on watching this thing called pitch meetings, where this guy basically has a conversation with himself where he plays both a screenwriter and the executive producer of a movie company, and they take well-known movies and basically rip them apart just as he plays the roles of the scriptwriter and the executive producer, where the actual executive producer is actually pulling apart a lot of the problems that the writer writes, and the writer's just ignoring it, saying, look, you make money. It's like, oh, okay, I like money. I guess that doesn't matter. But it's a very funny series, but I end up binge watching, which is the problem. Yeah, it's a funny one. It's a good series, that one. It's very clever, well written, and well performed as well. Okay. Yeah, he's really, really, really funny. It's a very cool series, and there's so many of them now. And there's like over 300 episodes or something, so there's always something to watch there. At first, I kind of avoided movies that I haven't seen, but now I just don't care. I just want to watch them all, and I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna watch that movie anyway, so let's just watch the pitch meeting of it, and I can see all the problems with the movie before without even having to go and see it. But yeah, that kind of screen rant thing, the pitch meetings thing, that kind of gave me the idea of perhaps having it where I'm doing the painting of the Necromunda models and the kind of what is it, like verbally abusing one another about who's gonna sell for more on eBay. Was kind of inspired a bit by that. Whereas just because I was just like, oh, I'll do something stupid and silly, it'll be fun. I want to kind of try and see if I can do an effect where I superimpose my own face over the model and have a go at just being silly and have some fun. I think that would be cool. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Oh, God, it's hilarious. I'm going to need you to get way off my back about whatever the plot hole device the executive producer pointed out. All right, I'm going to get right off that thing. Oh, yeah, this is very good. Yeah. The thing. Oh yeah, it's funny. Like obviously he pulls apart the movies quite. Like the way it's done is quite actually brutal to a lot of movies that are well liked, but he just does it in such a wonderful way that I don't think anyone, even the most devout fans, feel offended by them. He straddles that line where he doesn't actually offend fans of any of the movies. It's quite an amazing job that he does there. But yeah, this is very cool. Right, rather than doing the whole thing of the red to the orange in one sitting, I'm just going to go through and do all the red first, and a whole bunch of these, and then come back and do the next layer and the next layer. I think that'll be faster. We're going to batch paint this properly. I'm actually just sitting here smiling to myself, thinking of some of the pitch meetings that I've seen recently. Quite enjoyed the original Spider-Man trilogy ones. They were quite fun. What was it in the second movie? And he stops a train with the power of constipation. It's just like the picture of him holding back the train with a constipated look on his face. Oh, absolutely super. What's it? Nice. He saves a train from crashing with the power of constipation. Something like that. Oh dear. Love it. Okay. I'm getting sloppy. Very, very sloppy. There we go. One's done. That was a fast one. That were a fast one. Right. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of these because I got so many JSA to paint. I got 4 guys that have been painted up and I just haven't stuck them on their bases because I hadn't had the bases done yet. So it's kind of why I wanted to do this. And I had like a bunch of, like from the bar of the epoxy putty that I had, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to use all of this. And I made as many bases as I could out of it. I'm also watching the Amazon series The Expanse at the moment. Quite enjoying that. I'm up to season 3 at the moment. And yeah, it's kind of a fun series. And it's got certain kind of Infinity-esque style and elements to it, so it's fairly close to the miniature game that I play, so it's kind of, that makes it kind of cool. Not exactly the same, it's fairly different, but a little bit more dystopian, but it's got certain elements of it where it's like, oh, this is pretty close to what Infinity would be like as a TV series, perhaps, or something. Okay. One more to do with the red, and then we start layering up with the other colours. If I could actually bang out all of these now, I'll be pretty pleased. Yeah, it's a pretty cool series. It's basically like humanity has traveled the solar system and it has a colony on Mars, and there's people who live outside of that range and actually kind of live around Jupiter and things, where they kind of collect minerals and ores in space. They're called belters. So you got these three nations. You got the UNN, I think it is, which is basically Earth. And you have the MRC, MRNC or something, and it's basically the nation of Mars. And then you have the Belters, who live out on the belt of space. And so like Earth is kind of like the dominant power with the most wealth. The MRC is generally very technologically advanced, and they have a lot of scientists and things, and have got a lot of knowledge, and they're working on terraforming Mars. And the Belters are kind of out doing their own thing, and they're kind of the second-class citizens of the solar system. They all have kind of like a weird semi-South African kind of accent language, which is kind of unique in the show. And it's kind of dealing with all of their politics, along with a kind of an alien substance that is being kind of tested on and trying to be made into a weapon, whilst it also kind of seems to be taking on a form of life, and is a threat. It could be a threat to humanity. I'm on the third season of that at the moment. It's really cool. It's got a kind of cool style to it. A few actors appear in it who are fairly well known as well. Forget all their names because I'm not very good with names, but it's cool. I recommend checking it out. Like, if you don't get into it through the first season, then you probably won't get into it, but I thought it was pretty cool. And as I'm watching more of it, it's kind of getting better and better for me in many ways as the story progresses. It's kind of like ups and downs in some of the themes of the show, but overall it's pretty cool. I remember there being a sci-fi that I used to love as a kid, and they only did one season of it before it got like just straight up cancelled. But I remember it being really, really cool. That was, I think it was Space Above and Beyond. I wish that series went on for longer. I wish it was more easily available as well, so I could actually go back and watch it again. I remember that, and the other thing I really loved was Babylon 5. There's very few of those kind of shows which are really stand out, like good sci-fi TV series that kind of, I don't know, they kind of do a really good job of like doing a world building, doing good world building within this show. Babylon 5 was very good at the world building. I liked it a lot. Nice quick one on there. Don't want to spend too long on these. Just gonna knock them out and be done. Last one for this bread anyway, and then we move up to the orange, and then we move up to the light orange. Captain Archer. You're gonna have to remind me, which Star Trek is that one, because I kind of did a lot of Next Generation with Picard. Was Archer the one from Voyager? I don't know. So I wasn't like a super Trekkie. I do enjoy Star Trek, the TV series, but I just didn't watch it as much as the other shows that I liked, which was like Babylon 5. I kind of liked the politics a lot in Babylon 5, and the stories, how they kind of continued on a lot. Star Trek felt more like, yeah, a lot of individual episodes and things. With a story that was kind of going on, but it was a lot slower moving than some other sci-fi series did. I think probably my favourite Star Trek series actually was Deep Space Nine. I'm not sure if that's a very popular choice, but again, I kind of like it when they have it in these kind of more stationary locations, and stuff kind of builds up around those places. So it's like kind of like more location based rather sometimes than just character based. I quite liked Deep Space Nine. That was a cool series. It's probably the Star Trek I watched the most as a kid. Babylon 5, and the one that I'm watching at the moment is The Expanse. The Expanse. It's a little bit violent in places, but nothing overly violent. But there are just these every so often these moments where I think in like one of the early episodes, like the people that you're following are in a they're being held in a Mars ship, in kind of like a brig, but they're kind of going through maneuvers. So at the moment they're kind of like just stuck to the wall, and then they come under attack. So like shots that are fired from the enemy vessel are like just being shot straight through the hull, and so you see them just going ping through the hull and creating holes and things, and like just missing people, and then like one just kind of goes straight through the guy's head when they think they're okay. There's some kind of cool moments with physics. I think it's a little bit off with its physics and things, but sometimes they do some really cool stuff with the physics. There's like yeah, there's some. It's a cool series. It's kind of enjoying it a lot. Okay, I know Star Trek Enterprise. That one's the one with the guy from Quantum Leap, isn't it? As the captain. I never really saw any of that one. Yeah, the Expanse is it's cool. I like it. It is an interesting series. It feels like it's got presence, you know, like they've worked on making it the world that they've made it in feel somewhat real and things somewhat physically there, and so it's kind of got good world building. I've enjoyed watching it. I have that thing of just one more episode. Just one more episode. When I watch one episode, I'm not satisfied with just watching one episode. I need to watch the next episode. So I consider that being okay. The series does a good job. Whereas I'm reading like the Circle of Time books, and so I tried watching the Circle of Time TV series, and I'm trying to force myself to get through the first season, and it's been months now, and I just cannot finish. I'm on like the penultimate episode or the last episode, and I'm just like, I just don't care. It's not good. They kind of screwed up how they made that series, which is a shame. I think The Expanse is originally a book as well, so that might be something that I want to check out afterwards, is actually to read the series of books. I think it's based on some books. But yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, it's worth checking out, I think. I heard from Jeremy from Upturned Table that they're making a Blade Runner TV series. I think that's Amazon as well. Amazon seem to have a thing for Philip K. Dick. So that'll be curious to see, because Blade Runner is one of my favorite IPs, kind of like as it's like the original is one of my favorite movies ever, and I really liked the sequel that they made recently. It was very respectfully done. So I'll be curious to see how a TV series works. I think with Amazon they're very hit and miss with their shows. Sometimes they kind of fall flat. I haven't even bothered really trying to watch the Lord of the Rings TV series. I'm just not expecting it to be any good. So I've just kind of avoided that one. Alright, we're on to the final bit of orange with these guys. Get that bit there, that bit there. Keep it fairly simple on this. Luckily, this orange has such poor coverage that if I get it on the grey and the black areas, you just don't see it. Thank you very much, Frostvogel. Thank you very much for joining. If you want to come see me again, I'm here I'm trying to do every Thursday. I try to get on to do some painting and be on. I also do Saturdays as well, roughly around about the same time. Depending on where you are, that probably means it could well be a Saturday, could well be a Friday for you. I don't know, but I basically this time. Twice a week I try to be on, so I would love to see you again, but thank you very much for joining us, and for just chatting in the thing, because when people throw in chat from Germany, fantastic, so thank you. I get quite a few people from around Germany and things just coming in and checking in on my stream and things. I don't know if it's to do with the timing of my show, I don't know, but yeah, thank you very, very much for joining. I hope to catch you again, so yeah, thank you, and thank you very much for following as well. Makes my day. I think I've already done you. Oh, I can't remember which ones I've done. That one's done. Sheesh. But yeah, take care. Thank you. I'm gonna be finishing up fairly soon. I think I'm just gonna try and get as much of this bit done as possible, and then I'm gonna call it the end. I've got to take some photos of the model, put it on my Instagram as well. See if I can get that done as well tonight. That'll be kind of nice. So yeah. There we go. I'm being super lazy with this now. Just speeding it through now. Okay, we've done the kind of the red glowy bits. I could try and just quickly get through some of this grey. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Get it done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Just gonna go through and get these done, I think. It won't take me very long. I say that, I'll probably end up doing this for ages. I've done about 2 hours, so I'm probably gonna call it a night. I'll just continue this by myself because this is not riveting painting. You've already seen me actually finish one of these, so it's not like anything's going to change really. The only thing that will be exciting is perhaps when I've stuck the models on the top of this So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night there. So thank you very, 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 very much for joining, and I'll try to be back on the Saturday. I don't see any problem with that. And I'm going to take some photos of this model and see if it's good enough. If not, you'll probably see it again in the next stream where I'm like, oh, I've got to fuss over this little bit here. But anyway, thank you very, very much for joining me today, and take care and see you again. Goodbye.